The intro to this is really long and boring, so if you're watching this on a VOD, just skip ahead quite a bit. Like a few minutes maybe. By the way, if my audio seems like really imbalanced during this run, I would really appreciate if someone in chat would just say whether the game volume is a bit low, because this is my first time streaming from the 3DS in like ages. So the game might be really quiet or might be really loud. Personally, I think if anything it's probably going to be a bit quiet at the moment, but I can easily change it if necessary. Okay. I wasn't expecting the other one, that's fine. Okay, so we're probably a little over halfway through the tutorial, which is slightly longer than Harvest Moon standards. Slightly longer than their standard for intros, but in terms of tutorials, I guess pretty short. Because a lot of Harvest Moon games have optional tutorials. But I don't really mind them having a tutorial in this one, because this was like Natsume's first attempt at a Harvest Moon game where they did quite a bit differently. So it makes sense for them to have a tutorial. Right, remember this time not to fuck this part of the tutorial up. Because this bit's really easy, but I always forget how you, like, that it can be really quick. Okay, I did it right. I did it right, but then almost accidentally did it wrong. Because I pressed B by accident, but that was the button I was supposed to press. So I did it right. That's how you're supposed to do the tutorial quickly. It's surprising how often I mess that up. So now we're getting all the useful items minus the hammer. The hammer is... yeah, the hammer is like the only useful item that you don't get now. To be fair, it's the only item you don't get now as well, besides the good axe. But you don't even need the good axe for like, except for one bit. I think you get the good axe just to like speed up or like advance the story, and that's it. You don't use it for anything in actual like requirements. Now I've got to make my way to the Harvest Goddess. Okay, that was a pretty good tutorial. So one thing you probably can notice during this run is there's a lot of dialogue. Like, I reckon the majority of this run is probably just cutscenes and dialogue. Like a small amount of it is like, it is obtaining items and then travelling to cutscenes and dialogue. But she's just giving me some broccoli seeds, which I won't be planting. And that right there is probably the most useful item in the game, because it just teleports me back home. But also advances the clock by 4 hours, I think it is. So it's just used when I need to advance time to really late, but don't want to sit there waiting for it. It's kind of similar to if you've ever seen or played Magical Melody. How if you press Z in the start menu, then you can just warp straight to home and go to sleep. It's kind of like that, but you don't have to go straight to sleep, so it's a little bit better. So I really didn't need to check my crops there, but I did just to be on the safe side. Right, so this is actually the first item that we get that is required to advance the plot. The little, I think it was spinach. It is spinach or celery that you grow there, I can't remember. That like you start growing through for the tutorial. You don't actually need to grow them, but you just continue growing them anyway because you can sell them to make a little bit of money, which is needed later. But to actually continue the game, you need to grow 5 flowers, and luckily, Sam gives you 10 flowers. And I messed up a little bit there by going completely the wrong way with the camera. Okay, and what I'm doing now is I'm just evening out the ground because later I want to place down a barn. Hopefully that's enough. And basically, as long as you're in the valley, like as long as you're not in like your little house area, it's always faster to whistle back home rather than to walk. Okay, so I probably shouldn't need to go out and check my flowers today and my crops, but I think I will. Because something that's kind of important that I haven't mentioned yet is obviously it's the beginning of the game, and on the bottom screen it says spring, but it's snowing and it looks like winter. Well, the plot of the game is basically that the entire world's trapped in like eternal winter, and that's no good. So yeah, but then the thing is, like, I think I don't know whether like snow acts the same way rain does, as it like kind of waters your crops, or whether it's like the like there's a feature in this game where like you can water your crops and then they just stay wet for a few days, like depending on how high or low they are or something. Like this game has quite a few mechanics that nobody really bothered to massively look into. Like a few people at Fogu have kind of looked into some of the various features, but other than that, it's just kind of like people like, yeah, whatever. Whoops! No, I don't want to plant any more seeds. No, I don't want to plant seeds. So yeah, that's the one problem with this whole game being very context sensitive. Basically everything you do is on the A button, and it just depends on like what the context the game thinks you're trying to do it on. So you can just be mashing to do one thing and then accidentally do another, which you didn't want to do. It can cost you a little bit of time. So now we're meeting Sally, who plays no part in the game until the very end. So who cares? Right, so now actually going to meet Sally, because when we saw her in the Goddess Spring, she just kind of ran away. But again, she doesn't play any part until right at the end of the game. So, I don't care. I don't care for the moment. It's really irritating, because this game, there's some characters which were like, if they introduced you right at the beginning of the game, then this run would be so much faster. But instead, you get to meet Sally, who, as I said, like, you know, there's no reason for her to be introduced this early. She just is. But characters who actually give you items and advance the story, now they can be introduced at like the last second. That's fine. Oh, fuck off. I accidentally talked to him on his birthday, so I had a little bit of extra dialogue. Okay. Yeah, so I didn't need to check my crops today, but I managed to go sell some things to Sam, so that's not too bad. Considering he wasn't massively in my way, or out of my way rather. But I'm just not going to bother checking my crops today because it's snowing. I'm going to try and save a little bit of time here and there. Right, I'll check my crops today regardless of whether it's snowing or not. Because I won't meet the next harvest sprite until I harvest my flowers. Cool, they're ready to harvest. Which means I should meet the next sprite to, well, I guess tomorrow. Which means soon after, I'll meet Gilbert. And because I don't actually have any crops at the moment, basically after meeting whatever this harvest sprite's name is, I want to say Blossom, I can basically just sleep, yeah, Blossom. I can just sleep until I have the dream about meeting Gilbert, because in this game, you can't meet anyone, do anything, advance the plot until the game says, oh, you can do it now. And so, as that's the one thing I don't particularly like about a speedrun, like, it would be a lot quicker if you could just do everything, like, as soon as you were able to, or as soon as you needed to. But the game's like, no, we gotta tell you first. Like, I know exactly where Gilbert's going to be and where I meet him, but I can't meet him until the game says I should meet him. Okay, so now I can go and meet Gilbert. I'm not going to split yet, just in case. This is good cutscene. So I just got the fishing rod, will be used exactly once. Well, not exactly once in terms of how many times I will fish, but there will be one section of fishing, and that will be it. And this is actually the first section of RNG in the run, because at some point later on in the game I need 3 crucian carp, but to meet the next harvest point I need to catch 5 fish. So if I catch 3 crucian carp now, then that's really good, and that saves time. It doesn't save time, I guess it just doesn't waste time. But if I catch 5 fish without catching 3 crucian carp, then I have to fish a little bit longer. Also, fishing is just random in general. It's not the worst fishing in the Harvest Moon game, definitely. It's not even that bad in terms of fishing, it's just like all other fishing minigames, it's always a little bit random. Okay, I need this next fish to be a crucian carp, otherwise I gotta catch a few more fish, which is a little bit slow. That's not a crucian carp. I guess this thing is like, if you catch different types of fish, then if you get a new record every time, then that's a little bit slow as well. Really? Oh my gosh, all the fish are ignoring it. That's not one. God damn it. See, this is the one thing I don't particularly like about this run. There are a few moments of just RNG, and it's just really, really dumb. Please. Please. Please be a crucian cart. Thank you. Okay. Right. That took a lot longer than I would have liked it to. But whatever. And the funny thing is, I won't need the carp until quite a while later. Like, I won't need the carp until I'm saving summer. And I'm not even on to the bit where I'm saving spring yet. At the moment, I'm just saving the harvest goddess. But I caught 5 fish, so I get to meet Dewey. I caught way more than 5 fish, which is mildly irritating, but I guess I'll definitely be well off for money in the run. Wait, no, okay. Yeah, I remember this bit. Because I did a practice run a few days ago, and I was like, okay, what am I supposed to be doing now? Oh, right, now I can meet the harvest goddess. And it's like, as I mentioned earlier, no, you can't until the game says you can. So I went all the way up, so in a practice run, I went all the way up to the harvest goddess spring, and was like, nothing's happening. And then I was like, oh, that's because I need to wait for the game to tell me I can play the game. It's really dumb. Okay. So yeah, unfortunately you can't skip any of the cutscenes in this game. And there are a lot of them. But the bright side, the text isn't terrible. It's not like it's not like Wonderful Life where you just can't do anything. It's not even like original Harvest Moon where you just have to hold to speed up the text. It's like, it's closer to Magical Melody, which is nice. So text doesn't take too long, especially considering there's a lot of it. So basically now, anytime I want to go see the Harvest Goddess, it has to be between 8 and 6, I think. Which, like, the 6 o'clock doesn't really matter, it's the 8 o'clock. Because it's like 8 o'clock is really dumb time in this, because it's like too long so that I can't just walk up there and take long enough of the time so that like it's 8 o'clock by the time I get there. So I have to use the flute once. So this is Blacksmith Family. Later on in the game, he upgrades your axe, which is used literally just to meet one sprite, and then he gives you the hammer, which, if you got it really early on in the game, would be like OP as fuck. But you're not allowed to because the game hates you. But actually, to elaborate on the hammer a little bit more, if you did actually get the hammer, like right at the beginning of the game, or really early on in the game, then there'd be a chance that there would be a faster route in which you befriend Doc and do his requests in order to get a bridge, and then you use the bridge. There's a glitch where you can... It's kind of hard to explain, but you can use bridges and shit to like go into mines and whatever, so you can go into the underworld really early on. Or you can go into the underworld without having to like dig all the way down. It sounds really confusing if you haven't played the game. Can I just meet Doc already? Because I need to meet him so I can advance the story. Thank you. So here comes possibly the best Harvest Moon character in the entire franchise. Doc is an absolute god among men. And for whatever reason, he gives you your first barn. Something I should check next time I open up the menu is whether or not I have enough wood for the kitchen. Well, actually, at the moment I don't even have enough money for the kitchen, but I still have some flowers to sell, I think. Yeah, but this is actually working out really well because I can sell some more stuff today, and then Jesus Christ, I caught 4 mosquito fish. Right, so now I have to build the barn. Now, the reason why I just entered and exited, I should have checked how much wood I had. Whatever, I'll do that now. I should definitely have enough though. I think I do. Yeah. Basically, the reason why I entered and exited the barn there is to meet. Didn't want to do that there. To meet the next character, Hunter. For whatever, well, because he's like the farm guy. If I could speak properly, the way you activate him or meeting him is you just exit and enter enter and exit the barn. I completely forgot that it's not 8. So I'm a ding dong, I have to wait around for a few seconds. Wait. That didn't show dock here. Oh, I think I'm retarded. Okay, I went 40 minutes into the run without having to check schedules. Fuck, it's 10, not 8. Whatever. I'll meet Hunter soon. Right, so now I have to go back to dock on Wednesday. So now I'm meeting Hunter, and this next bit is complicated because I guess technically it's probably, there's a good chance this upcoming section isn't actually RNG or luck or anything. It's just like how the game plays. But so in a second I'll be getting a cow, and the cow is mostly useless except for the fact that later on in the run I need 5 milk. So I need to get that before I can just put away the barn, because it gets in the way. But if you played this game, then you'll know that everything is, as I mentioned earlier, is context sensitive, so everything works on the A button. So the game basically decides whether or not you should be milking, brushing, or petting the cow. And I imagine casually, it works out completely fine. But in a speedrun, there is no consistency to this at all. So sometimes you can just milk your cow day after day, and it will be perfectly fine. And then sometimes you can only the game will only let you milk your cow every 5 days or something, and it is slow as fuck. There's also a slight chance that when you milk a cow you can get great milk, which funnily enough you don't want, because all the items used for requests have to be the same item throughout if there's multiple of them. So there are 2 requests that require 3. One requires 3 milk, one requires 2 milk. So for each one, it needs to be I need to have either 3 regular milk or 3 great milk. So it needs to be all of one, is what I'm saying, but failing miserably at. So I think the first day is almost always guaranteed that you can get milk on it. Although I did a practice run like a week ago. It wasn't even a run, it was like a playthrough. I did like a practice playthrough, and on the first time I milked my cow, I got great milk. Which makes no sense, because I did literally nothing to the cow that should have got me great milk. But I got great milk. Right, so characters you saw there in my dream, those are the next useful characters that I need to meet. Because at the moment the game is like, oh, to save Spring, you need to cheer up the Harvest Goddess. And to cheer up the Harvest Goddess, you need to make her something that she likes. Fuck off, cow. Right, so that's bad luck. Because the cow didn't let me milk it. Whoops. It only let me pet it. So yeah, so you need to cheer up the Harvest Goddess. And at the moment, I think it's like, oh, you need to unlock the sprite that tells you what the Harvest Goddess likes, which is the one you get from looking after your cow. So I'll probably meet it in today, maybe the next day. But today I also need to finish the request with Doc. But yeah, so once I meet the Red Harvest Sprite, he says, oh, the Harvest Goddess likes strawberry jam. And I'm a fucking retard because I just completely forgot I haven't been growing strawberries. That's fine. I think I have enough time. Thank you for the good luck, Hypothetical Tiger, and welcome to the stream. How are you doing? But look, it should be it should be a while before I actually meet Emily, who you buy the sugar off, which is one of the ingredients for strawberry jam. So I should have enough time to grow those strawberries. I'm doing well, thank you. And hey, a Yami fan? A Yame fan? I know, another Harvest Moon speedrunner. Right, so now I get to go. Actually, I might meet. Can't remember her name. Naomi? Yeah. Meet Naomi, because it's weird, like, this is the one character where you don't really need to meet them when the game says you should. Like, it was a lot earlier in the run when the game goes, oh, by the way, there's this person at the valley, and you can meet them now, but there's no reason to. So I can just meet her today. And she's another character who does literally nothing until the end of the run. So interestingly, it doesn't really matter whether or not, like, it's weird, because I guess technically there's no reason to tell him. Like, you don't benefit from telling him that you finished the barn at all. But you get to build the kitchen, so I guess that's done. I don't know, maybe you have to, like, you have to finish that request before he, like, opens up his shop or whatever. I've never tried doing it the other way around, because I want to build the barn as soon as possible so I can get the cow as soon as possible, so I can get the horrible cow RNG out of the way as soon as possible. Yeah, so that's the Harvest Sprite that is going to tell me the Harvest Goddess likes strawberry jam, and I have no strawberries. I can't believe all the things I forgot. I actually forgot to grow strawberries. That's really dumb. That's literally the first thing in my notes for unlock spring is grow one strawberry. See, so now the game's like, okay, right, let's make some strawberry jam. But I don't actually. But one of the ingredients for strawberry jam is sugar, but the person who sells sugar isn't in town yet. Okay. Now I don't want to jinx this whole thing by giving a slight compliment to this broken ass milk system. But one of the slightly good things is you don't need milk straight away. Like, honestly, you're given quite a while to get 5 milk, but it can definitely not go my way. Okay. Right, tomorrow I need to buy feed from Sam. Like, ideally, if you can do it without buying feed, that's like how you know you've done it, or it's been really nice to you, because you get given 10 feed and you only need to get 5 milk. Okay, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna meet Emily and whatever her mother's called. Is it Emily or Emma? I can't remember. But no milk today. Tomorrow. So if my strawberry grows, like if I can harvest my strawberry tomorrow, that's really good, because that's worked out perfectly, completely unintentionally. Oh wait, no, okay, not today, tomorrow. For some reason I thought it was Sunday yesterday. Please, cow. Yeah, it won't even let me get the compost. Right, okay, so now today should be the day I meet. I think it's Hannah and Emma. I can't remember their names, I don't care too much about I don't care about their names. Yep. Yeah, it's Hannah and Emily. I was close. Right, so if my strawberry's ready today, then I'm going to be very happy. Oh, I can't finish to unlock spring today. It's a little bit slow. I may as well buy the sugar tomorrow then. Okay, cool. Strawberry. Please let me milk you. No. That's fine though, because now I can just buy the strawberry, go back in, do some cooking, and then go to the Harvest Goddess. Blossom, you need to get out of the way. Okay. Sub 1 hour spring though, that's quite good. I'm pleased with that. It's alright. At the way it's going at the moment, I prefer it if I didn't have to milk my cow anymore. By the end of, like, I could finish with my cow before the axe split, because I need all the milk like shortly after that bit. We brought back spring, hooray! Unfortunately, you don't get to see spring because I kind of ballsed it up earlier in the run and forgot to grow strawberries, so I had to complete it a day later. Oh, we did it. We saved spring. It's now basically just telling us how we're supposed to save summer. I'm trying to remember what the actual next bit in this is, like who I'm supposed to talk to next. I think the next bit I'm supposed to do is just meet Catherine, which I have to wait for the game to tell me I can. Well, not even tell me, I have to wait for the game to just say, yep, you can do it now. I have to grow some flowers now. So these are right there. The Margarites are because there's something I need in order to save summer, and then the 2 roses I needed later to save fall. Oh, really? Grape milk? That's irritating. Because I kind of knew I was gonna, like, I should be able to milk the cow. But then to get grape milk was a little irritating. So in terms of what's actually like happening to advance the plot, this bit's great because all it actually wants you to do is just wait. There's nothing I can do to speed up the advancing of the plot. I just have to wait for the game to advance it for me. Thank you, Cam. But luckily, that doesn't mean in the meantime I can try and get that final bit of milk I need from my cow. Right, so the game's finally advancing the plot for me. And that's it. Unfortunately, I can't continue to advance the plot until she visits again, and I have no control over when she visits, so this game is fantastic. Oops. Whatever. I don't actually know if like using compost or fertilizer or anything is helpful. Oh, thank fuck. Right, so that's the last bit of milk I need, so I can finally stop worrying about my cow. So I don't actually know if like the cow dies or anything, or if it can get sick or whatever, if there is any cutscenes for anything like that. But I don't really want to risk it. So instead I just put the barn away. I don't have to worry about my cow. Right, so I check my crops on the next non-snowy day. Which is today, okay. Okay, so the next time Catherine visits me is before, or at least on Friday. That would be really good. Because once you see Catherine again, you then have to go to Tony, who's... and you can only activate the next cutscene on Fridays or Tuesdays. So I really want to see her again today. That would be nice. Okay, cool. Because basically now she just says, well, the first time you meet her, she says something about having an axe or whatever. Basically just tells you your axe is shit. And then this time she actually tells you, oh, why don't you actually go get an axe? And the game was like, oh yeah, maybe you should go get an axe. Or get a good axe. So now we're off to go get a good axe. Yay! Because you couldn't do that until somebody told you to. But luckily, the rest of summer is actually quite easy. The rest of summer is just kind of, it's very, very autopilot-y until fall. Why'd you have to be over there? Right, so Tony's agreed to make our axe. Now you gotta visit him on Tuesday. Okay, I wasn't expecting the 2 roses to still be wet, but that's not a massive time loss. But unless it's snowing tomorrow, they should be dry again. Okay. Right, so ideally, they'd stay wet tomorrow. I think I'm going to leave them tomorrow anyway, unless it's sunny tomorrow, then they should, I reckon there's a good chance they'll stay wet. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I'm just going to check again now. I've got a few people viewing. How's the sound, like, balance? Is the game audio, like, loud enough? Because I haven't streamed using 3DS for a while, so I'm a bit worried it might be a bit too quiet. So if it is, just say and I'll be able to fix it quite easily. I guess I'll split after I get the axe, I don't know. Right, so now I can cut down any tree, including these ones out here. But the only reason I need to cut this one down is so I can meet a harvest sprite. And that's the only reason why. So now summer is like definitely on autopilot. It's just wait until the game says you can meet someone and then meet them. At least I don't think I have to talk to the Harvest Goddess again after this. Okay. Yeah, okay. So now I just need to wait for the game to say, okay, you can meet Tabitha, and then I'll go meet Tabitha. Cool, I can go meet Tabitha. Okay, it says theoretically Tabitha comes out at 8, but I'm sure you can meet her at 7. I completely forgot that I definitely needed to wait until at least 7. Nope, okay. It is until 8, so I've wasted a little bit of time here. That's fine. Okay. One cutscene activated. Right, before I do that, I'm wasting time. Okay. Right, that's really dumb, because the game definitely said I could meet her. But now the game's like, nah mate, you can't meet her. Thanks game, I love you. But I should definitely, well, I say I should definitely be able to, but theoretically, tonight isn't even one of her like proper days. But I don't know. Today's still one of her days where she exists in the game and she'll just be wandering around. So I'm going to take that as a good enough for me. And if it's not, then I'll just cry a little bit and wait till Sunday. Cool. Right, so this boss is my favourite part of the game because basically she asks you to get some stuff, and because you can spend all of spring getting them for her, you can basically have, like, she's the only character where you can get the items before you meet them. So you meet her, and she's like, "Oh, get me these items," and you just have them already. It's wonderful, and she does that twice. She asks you for she gives you two different requests, which you will already have the items for. Hopefully, by the time you get to this point. Right, so now she wants you to just go back tomorrow. So hopefully the fact that today isn't one of her official days in the valley shouldn't make a difference. Oh wait, no, it is actually. Okay, that's fine. I thought her next day was Sunday. Why is Catherine there? Whatever. And this reference, what I was doing there is later. I remember I can't remember what bit. Actually, it'll be the next time it'll be when I return summer. There'll be a bit where I need to go to I need to visit Tony like straight after, so it's just quicker to take that path down. So because there's a little bit of time that I have to spend anyway, I may as well make that path now. Also, I feel like I'm finishing summer way earlier into summer than normal. Right. But if you haven't been keeping up with the story, we've got the magic fertilizer, which we need for the magic seed, which we need to go and meet the harvest god. I can't remember what he's called in this game. Like, it's weird. The harvest goddess is always the harvest goddess. Like, that has remained consistent throughout the games. But in some games, there's been like the harvest king. In some games, it's just the harvest god. I think this one's the harvest god. So yeah, so we need to go visit the harvest god so he can return summer, and then to do that we need to climb a magic beanstalk, and to do that we need fertilizer. But we've got all that now, so it doesn't matter. I'm actually going to wait until Tuesday. Normally, well, the earliest you'd have to wait technically, I guess, is Monday, because you can only visit the goddess on weekdays. But I'm going to visit her on Tuesday so I can go straight to Tony afterwards, because after you unlock summer, they go, oh, by the way, now to unlock fall, you're going to need a hammer, so go visit Tony. So save a little bit of time. I'm just going to do it on the Tuesday instead. I was supposed to use the whistle first. I'm going to split there, but I can't remember whether there's like an extra cutscene where you have, well, not cutscene, but whether there's an extra little bit where you have to climb the beanstalk, or whether it just throws you up there anyway. Can't believe I'm still doing what I do when I all the way when I used to play Magical Melody. I used to just mash during like bits where there's definitely no text. I can't believe I'm still doing that. Such a bad habit. I guess it's not a bad habit, it's just not a good habit. I've just realised I've got a split coming up for Blessed Seed, but I honestly don't remember who gives you the Blessed Seed. So I wouldn't know at what point I'm supposed to be splitting. Sometimes I think it like there'd be a part of it that may be a bit of it on obvious. Okay, it looks like Gilbert is the person who gives you it. I think. Yeah. So for everyone watching who's really interested in the story, basically now they're telling me to go to the underworld, because for whatever reason, Fall is controlled by the king of the underworld. Whoops. Jump up. Dude, why is Tony so far away? Oh, seriously? He's gonna be like, oh no, the game needs to tell you first, doesn't it? Because of fucking course it does. I guess that makes sense. Fall and Halloween. That's right, someone's supposed to tell me then first. I don't want to talk to you, Sam. Fuck off. Still don't want to talk to you, Sam. Right, so I've got my notes to grow the red rose in fall. Because I kind of think if like the weather changes when you're growing something, it's like, not if it changes season, but if it changes like the actual weather season, if that makes sense. So because it's in like actual summer, when it goes into winter fall, like I think whatever I'm growing will just die. I think, at least. I'm honestly not too sure. I remember, like, I'm sure that's the reason why I put it down. Oh, Summer's theme is jazzy. But if the cutscene doesn't activate, I'm going to be very upset with the game, because I don't actually know what else I should be doing. Thank you. Okay, so it turns out, when I said, oh yeah, I should have gone straight, I'm saving time by going straight to toning, that's not true. That's actually wasting a little bit of time. And that's dumb. Because the logical thing is when they say, oh, you should go to you should go to a blacksmith, and then you go straight to the blacksmith, the game should reward you, not go, no, you gotta wait at least a day, mate, come on. This game is just really picky about things. Whatever. So, I don't need to see the request menu. Right, so now we're on the quest to get the hammer. And I can't do anything until Monday to get the hammer. I said, no, I'll do it on Tuesday. Because you need to talk to Emily, as the game's just told me, to cheer up Tony. So it'll save a tiny bit of time if I talk to Emily on the Tuesday and then go straight to Tony. And I know the game will let me this time. The game won't juke me out of that. Right, so now I can talk to Emily. And then I can cheer Tony up. And start to then get the hammer. Seriously, why is Tony so far away? Like, all the time. That's right, there was probably the first choice, probably the only choice actually you have to make through the entire game, and it does not matter. Like, it's one of those things where it just says, oh, what should I do? And it's like, do your best, never give up. That's not like the actual question or the actual answers, but it may as well be. But he says, but like Tony's like, oh, I can't fix this thing. What should I? What am I doing wrong? And it's like, maybe you're rushing at it, or maybe you suck. And it doesn't matter which one you pick because they're both true. But yeah, so now I have to go back to him so he can go, oh, I figured out the problem, and I can get him to make me a hammer. And then I have to go back to him again so I can receive my hammer. Like, this is the one, like, non-RNG bit of the run that I hate, because it's literally just go back to Tony. Okay, and now wait a few days and go back to Tony. And I'll go back to Tony. It's like, stop making me visit Tony, Jesus. Alright, it's finally fall though, so I can grow my red rose without worrying about it dying when the next season comes. Again, like, the one person I have to talk to is really far away. So now Tony can finally start working on my axe. Not my axe, my hammer. No, the axe is... I just realised the axe is... Like, upgrading the axe is genuinely exactly the same side quest, except, like, -1 event. Like, minus talking to Emily and giving Tony some bread or some shit. So it's like one less visit to Tony, and you don't have to talk to anyone else, but other than that, it's exactly the same. And if they just give you the items at the beginning of the game, it would be just as pointless. I can see my mic audio on OBS going up, so I can assume all my flatmates have been... Well, I can hear my flatmates, but I'm assuming people on stream can hear them as well. Also, I completely forgot that I should be checking the weather now. It's interesting, I think, that, like, I managed to beat, like, half the game in an hour and a half. Like, I managed to save some in an hour and a half. But then, like, saving 4 will take just as long as all of the run. Because 4 is fucking dumb. Because of how much they want you to do to save 4. Plus just how long it takes in general, like. Because there's this whole, like, hammer side quest. Then I've actually got to go around using the hammer. Oh, Tony was finally, like, here. Like, right in front, that's lovely. I guess I'll just split the same way I did Axe, and just after like the cutscene ends. There we go. I don't actually know the quickest way across here. Okay. Right, so I will need to unlock that mine. Right, I guess I'm starting the mining a little bit early then. Right, so the requirements for mining is I need 9 iron ore, 1 fluorite ore and 1 crystal ore. So I got 1 iron and 1 fluorite there. So that's not too bad, I don't think. Okay, there's this one. That was the wrong button. Okay. So, if you're here earlier in the run, I mentioned how if you got the hammer a lot earlier, then this run would be a lot quicker. I didn't want to do that. And the obvious reason is because you could just go straight to this bit and meet and go to the underworld, and that would break things. And that's like the only reason why they blocked it off by stone, essentially. But an interesting thing is, if that big boulder that was blocking the way originally wasn't there, then you could actually still get to the underworld early, because there's a glitch using bridges in which you could, if you put a bridge in a gap. Okay, it's really hard to explain. If you dig like one tile down, put a bridge on top of it, and it's in front of a mine, then when you go on the bridge, you'll just go into the mine for whatever reason. So you can actually use that. So you can use that to get into the underworld without having to dig all the way down like this. Because surprisingly enough, this is actually the fastest way to get down without the bridge. The only problem is then getting the bridge requires doing all of Doc's requests, and the requests themselves aren't difficult. Like, the items are actually really easy to get. It's just because this game is really dumb, you can't do requests until the game says you can. So you can't do all of Doc's requests until the game says, oh yeah, you can do Doc's requests now. Or until it says you can do the next one. I just realised I went way over, but that's fine. You can usually enter a little bit earlier than that. But it's interesting, so because if the big boulder wasn't there, then you wouldn't even have to get the hammer to get in, because you could just build dirt around it and make it, like, essentially emulate having one block missing in front of the mine. The problem would be is that you still need you still need to do mining to actually finish the game, so not getting the hammer wouldn't really do much, I guess. Like, you'd still have to get the hammer in the end. And if anything, it would probably make the game impossible to beat, because the game would think, oh, okay, great, you've already got the hammer. But then, because you need the hammer to complete the game, it would be like, you could never get the hammer, and then you'd just be stuck, not being able to complete the game. I don't know, I honestly have no idea how the game would react to you getting to the underworld early, and unfortunately there isn't really a way to test. So I haven't actually said, but I think it's pretty easy to figure out that the mining is the final part of RNG in this run. And the fact that it's right at the end of the run isn't the best. But I don't know, it could definitely be a lot worse. I didn't mean to do that either. Hey Kumatora, welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? So now what I'm doing is I'm just going back to the underworld, but first I'm going to do a little bit more mining. I'm surprised I managed to get the fluorite crystal, the fluorite ore rather, on my first visit. The game's not bad. It's not the best Harvest Moon game, but I don't personally mind it. Yeah, I think it was good for Natsumi's first attempt, but I'm looking forward to Skytree Village being released in Europe, because maybe one day it will. But yeah, Skytree Village looks like it will fix all the problems that this game... No, what am I doing? This game had. But yeah, in terms of casually, I think this game's alright. I definitely got a good chunk of playtime out of it. Speedrunning is... Speedrunning is very much like the game casually. It's not the worst, but it's definitely not the best speed game. But I don't think anything will beat the worst. If you guys want to know what the worst Harvest Moon speed game is, by the way, it's New Beginning, hands down. I probably will get the new story seasons, but again, I'll have to wait till that's released in Europe. So I'll probably have to wait till 2018 for that. Because I don't think... Yeah, I think Europe got the original stories, like, first story seasons, end of 2016. Or was it 2015? No, we got it end of 2015. But if I was American, or if I could be bothered enough to, I can't remember what the fuck it's called now. I keep on saying soft lock, but it's definitely not soft lock. Soft mod, that's it. If I wanted to soft mod my DS, I definitely would buy an import copy of Trio of Towns and, what's it called? Skytree Village. I don't think New Beginning was bad casually. Like, I quite enjoyed it casually, and I definitely got a good bit of play out of it, but it's just, the speedrun is, mind-numbing. Like, okay, so you can imagine what speedrunning New Beginning is like. Basically, spring is 3 hours long because the game hates you. Because the game doesn't technically start until summer. Like, spring is just one big tutorial. But yeah, so like the New Beginning requirements are really dumb, because if you want to do chump any percent, which is marriage, where basically my excuse for that is, oh, the credits roll when you get married, so fuck it, I'm calling it any percent. But if you want to do that, then the requirements for marriage are dumb as well, because you have to get like 100,000 G just for the where am I going? I need to just you need to get like 100,000 G just for like buying certain stuff. And then if you want to do non-chump any percent, then you have to like you have to like do all the town plans, and that just takes ages. But yeah, so this definitely isn't the worst speed game. It just has a lot of stupid RNG in it. But aside from RNG, a lot of it's just autopilot, like remembering when to do everything. Favorite Harvest Moon game? Probably Magical Melody, but it's difficult because I honestly haven't touched that many of them casually. Like, I mostly speedrun them, and even then it's like I'll speedrun them. I'll play them casually first and then speedrun them. Really? That was so shit. So it's kind of hard for me to answer like what game I enjoyed casually most, because some of them I haven't played casually at all. But my favourite Harvest Moon speed game is definitely Magical Melody. The one, out of all the ones I have played casually though, my favourite casual experience was probably Animal Parade. Like, I really enjoyed playing that one casually. But yeah, it's like some of the ones that like everyone says are really good, I either haven't played at all. So like 64, I haven't done speedruns or played casually. Or like Friends of Mineral Town, I just never played casually. But I have done speedruns of. But by the end of this year, I will have played a lot more Harvest Moon games. Hey Infin, how are you doing today? Yeah, Animal Parade was really good casually, I really enjoyed it. I can't remember what Gilbert just told me. Oh, he just said he's coming back into the village. What do I do now? Talk to Gilbert. When is Gilbert here? Wasting time. Thursdays. Oh, sick. Okay, I just need to wait until later today then. The interesting thing with Animal Parade is I played Animal Parade before I played Tree of Tranquility, and it's one of those things where like, if you play Tree of Tranquility first, then Animal Parade is really good just because like, just based on like what it fixes from Tree of Tranquility. Because playing Tree of Tranquility, it's a good game, definitely not as good as Animal Parade, but there are just some things which are just like so broken in Tree of Tranquility. which I'm really glad they fixed in Animal Parade. But the Animal Parade and Tree of Tranquility speedruns are quite interesting, how they're going at the moment. I haven't fully finished the route for Tree of Tranquility, and I just need to do some final bit of testing on Animal Parade route. But I think they're looking quite good. Now I need to check Hunter's schedule. Okay, cool. Right, so now I need to go talk to Hunter. Who, like, it's weird, his schedule is in my barn. But if you remember earlier, I took down my barn because I didn't want my cow getting sick or anything, so I have to put it back up, wait a bit, and then Hunter will come back and I can activate a cutscene with him. Right, hopefully now, Hunter is in the barn. Yeah, cool. Today's Saturday. Is Gilbert in today? No, he's next in on Mondays. Okay. It's weird because somewhere that I reckon saves the most time is just knowing when to do mining. Because the mines are mostly kind of out of the way. Because the only mine you can get, or the only mine that's not really ridiculous to get the fluorite and crystal ore from, is the one next to the underworld. But you only go to the underworld twice, so they're not actually that I don't know. It's kind of difficult to route when you should be going there. I think today's a festival or something. Fishing contest. Yeah, I know. Underworld. There's actually an underworld in this game. So the whole premise of the game is basically the seasons got stolen, or just they went. I don't know if they got stolen. The seasons fucked off. And basically each harvest deity represents the season. So the harvest goddess has spring, and she returns spring once you make her feel well again. The harvest god has summer, and then Gorgon, he's not a harvest guy, he's just Gorgon. He's the underworld king, and he controls fall. Whoops, I messed up then. And you say what you want about this game and all its flaws, but it's a Harvest Moon game in which you go to hell and meet the king of hell. That's pretty cool, let's be honest. Okay. If I get crystal, that would be really nice. Not fluorite, I already have fluorite. How much iron do I have? It didn't like that. I have 2 iron, I shouldn't have wasted them. This is really poorly optimized menuing and movement, but I don't mind for the moment. I just want to finish a run. But I'm not too worried about getting iron from that one, because I mostly get iron from the one outside the goddess spring. But I actually need quite a bit of money now, so when I next see Sam, I'm gonna sell him a lot of my stone, because I don't think no, stone is actually useful in this game, but not in this run. Right, so that should definitely be enough. I also completely forgot that I should be checking on the flower. Whatever. I didn't get lucky when I was in here last time, so let's hope that changes. You know what? I'll take that. 3 iron in one trip. That's pretty good. Cause that one from that got me from 2 to 5, and I need 9. So I'm over halfway with iron now. I have more than enough fluorite. So I just need 4 more iron and a crystal ore. And then that's all the mining I need to do done. Actually, I think he's gonna give me the blessed seed now. I'll do exactly the same like I did hammer and axe. I'll split after the cutscene ends. Nope, I'll just do something really dumb and sick. I didn't have my splits on. Alright, so now I've got to go visit the harvest goddess to just say, hey, I got these stuff. I got the seeds. So I guess, like, if you wanted to put this run into, like, cycles and stuff, essentially, like, the fastest cycle for this bit, for fall, would be if I had all of the mining done now, because then I could go straight to the blacksmiths, refine all the ores, and then the next day I could go to dock and get the sun. I don't think there's going to be much here. Yeah. No iron, unfortunately. That's fine though. Like, it's kind of weird. In this game, you kind of have to leave it like a couple days before you can find something good in the same mine. I need you to move, yellow guy. Right, and now I have to go check Catherine's schedule, but I have no idea. Okay, she's outside the house on Wednesday, that's fine. Right, so tomorrow I'll go mining again at the mine next to the underworld. And then once I teleport back, I'll talk to Catherine. More festivals. Okay. Catherine comes at 3 and not 10 like everyone else. I don't know if that will make a difference, but it might mean I have to not teleport, but like advance time once more. It depends on how long I'm in the mine for. Right, so I'm done with this bit, so it's, as soon as I talk to Catherine I can activate the tier quest. If I could get up here. Okay, so I've got 8 iron, I need 1 more iron ore. Okay, that's really good. Not the best, but it's still really good. Because now I have until Friday to find 1 more iron ore. Right, okay, so now I have to go find the Tears of Happiness in the Insta Sun. And the Tears of Happiness is activated by leaving my house on a Wednesday or Friday, which it is. But this is the part where it gets a little bit stupid, because Naomi's schedule is a bit dumb. Where's it going? Okay, yeah, I am supposed to talk to Naomi next. When is Naomi in the valley? 7 PM. Right, so I'm going to take the long way around with this, and go to the mine next to the Goddess Spring. I hope I get that last bit of iron. Quickly. Yeah, okay, she is in the mine. The mine? The Moon Valley, I think it's called. Cool. Right, one last check. Okay. I thought I got another floor, but apparently I didn't. That's fine though. I don't care. I have enough. That's good enough. Right, so this is actually going really well at the moment. Or this ending at least. Wait, what? Did she Seriously? She went home. That's so dumb. Like, it says she'd be there from 7. It's okay. I'm sure like I'll end up running into her like today or something when I'm going to refine all my ores. More festivals. I don't know why they just said all the festivals should be in fall. Get out of the way. Although I've realised if I can actually if I can start Naomi's quest today, that's really good, because then I can do the next part of it, which involves April, today as well. She isn't here yet. That sucks. And of course, the one time I need to speak to Brutus, he's all the way over there. Talk to me, mate. Yeah, a lot of people really liked, and by liked I mean not at all liked, the design for the characters. Okay, if she is in the she is. I've accidentally set a mark point. Thanks, game. Right, so now I can't actually. Well, I could, but it would take a. It would overall cost me time. So I've got to take the I've got to walk back so I can continue the quest by talking to April. Because if I walked back, then she'd be gone and I couldn't carry on with that. In fact, if I'm quick enough, I could probably like I could probably go back and activate the second cutscene with Naomi. It depends when she leaves. I think there's a chance she'll leave at 7, so I think I have enough time. Oh, extra dialogue there. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for helping me advance the plot. Remember, on your Harvest Festival, you gotta be grateful to people who advance the plot in speedruns. You just couldn't do it without them. So she asked us to get some flowers so she can make a bouquet. And I've already got the flowers because I'm well prepared. So now I should definitely have time to go back and give them to Naomi. Also, I'm gonna be honest, I'm actually on a really good pace. Like, I'm essentially approaching like the last bit of the game, like the final stretch. And I'm probably like 40 minutes ahead. Well, not 40 minutes ahead, but like, like, the best I've done in an offline run is 3 hours 10. And I'm like, there's probably only 10 minutes left, maybe 15 minutes left of the run. I don't know if I did that right. I'm gonna talk to her again. No, I didn't do that right. Okay, so, whoops. Yeah, they fixed the design in Skytree Village. Okay, so this is the tier of happiness. So, because we're just wonderful people, we have... Oh, well, I'm not going to spoil it. I'll tell you what's happened after it's happened, because I'm going to assume the text is going so fast you can't really read what's happening. But basically, Sally lost a pendant. Naomi's like, hey, I gave that pendant to my daughter that I lost in a storm. Because good parenting. So, I've just reunited a mother and daughter because this game is just brilliant. To be fair, when I actually played this game casually, I thought that was really cool. I thought it was a really nice bit of the story. Like, I mean, it was obvious from the beginning that they were related, but... So I've got the Tears of Happiness, now I just need the Insta Sun, which I shall be getting from Doc tomorrow. I don't know what that rank was. Makes you wish you brought your Wii and Magical Melody. Yeah, Magical Melody is a really good game. I'm looking forward to revisiting that at some point. And of course Doc's really far away. So right, so Doc's now going to go, oh, so you want me to make Insta Sun? Great, give me this. And I'm just going to give it back to him immediately, because I know exactly what he wants, and I've already got it. So this is actually like the end of the actual gameplay. So in a minute I'll return to the Harvest Goddess, and it'll be like, and then there'll be like, I want to say 5 minutes at least of cutscenes before the actual run ends, or before the actual timer stops. And the reason, like, it is dumb because I'm being very, like, nitpicky in a way with timing on this, because it's like, come on, because it's like because there's just a cutscene for a really long time, and that doesn't. Oh, it's Saturday, I can't. Whatever. No, it's definitely not here. I'm an idiot. But yeah, so it's like, I don't know, it's like, oh yeah, you could stop it when like the cutscene starts, because it's just like, it is just like 5 minutes of cutscenes when you basically at this point know what your time is going to be. But then there's like one bit before the credits where you still have control, and it's not cutscene, which kind of makes me go, no, timing should stop after that. So this game rewards you. This game will reward you with playing the game and watching all the cutscenes with another cutscene. And Oh my god, it's a hooter. It's a hoot and a half of a cutscene. So right, this is the start of basically the big finale cutscene. I think maybe no, and maybe there'll be like a couple days sleeping first. I can't remember. Overall, I'm pretty pleased with this run. I completely forgot this split. I was supposed to split when I got the Tia and the Sun. But yeah, going into this I was actually a little bit anxious because it was like the last run I did, I got terrible luck with the cow and I just didn't bother finishing the practice run because I was just like, nah, this run sucks, I just don't even want to carry on. So going into this I was a little bit worried that the same thing would happen and the run would just be terrible, but I'm probably going to end up PBing by at least 20 minutes, which I know doesn't particularly make sense because I haven't been comparing it to any splits, but that's because I made new splits for the I can't remember what I was going to say. I made new splits basically because I wanted to compare to a fresh new start. But yeah, but the run wasn't perfect. Like mining RNG was a lot better than I definitely thought it would be, but the cow and the fish could have been a lot better. So because there's a few minutes of cutscenes left, I'll just give you an update on there's some stuff that's happening in general. Tomorrow, if you like Harvest Moon speedrunning, there is a Harvest Moon Valentine's Day marathon going on. I know tomorrow's not technically Valentine's Day, but it was the day that worked out for most of the runners. Unfortunately, I'm not doing a run in it, but there are definitely some good runners. Like everyone who is running in it is a good runner. I can't remember what the channel is called. It's the NLG organization or something like that. But I will be hosting the channel all day long for all stream long as the marathon is going. So basically it's just a few marriage categories. So I know there's DS, Friends of Middletown, 64, and SNES. So if you like Harvest Moon speedrunning, I'll be hosting that tomorrow. You should definitely check it out. If you're watching any of my stream last month, you know I was playing. I was doing best ending runs of Harvest Moon SNES, and one of the people behind SNES Superstars, the SNES Superstars marathon, actually messaged me on Twitch saying, "Hey, would you be interested in submitting Harvest Moon for the marathon. So I thought about it and I was like, fuck it, why not? So I submitted that. I don't know if it's been accepted, but I'm kind of assuming it will, honestly. So if it does get accepted, then this month we'll be doing a mix of Lost Valley runs and SNES best ending, like practice and commentary practice. So yeah, and then in the sidelines, I've been doing a lot of offline practice for Harvest Moon GBC. So in March, I can start doing speedruns of that. So that's basically everything Harvest Moon. Well, not everything, but that's a lot of Harvest Moon things that are coming up in terms of my streaming, just in marathons and whatnot. So yeah. The year of Harvest Moon speedrun is still going strong, I think. I think this is the end. Nope. I think there's like one more day I've got to sleep before the credits. Oh, Jesus. I've made a fucking indent or imprint in my thumb from where I've been mashing the A button in the same spot. Yeah, I gotta sleep like a couple more times before the game goes. No, you can actually end now. Oh really? That's cool. That's... Nope, that's still not the end yet. Yeah, the sign of a dedicated masher. Tip of my thumb's gone red. It's worse than back when I used to run Magical Melody and Wonderful Life. I love mashing during those cutscenes. Right. There we go. That's the end of the run. 2:43, 56 rather. I'm really proud of that. It's definitely could be better. Like, I reckon sub 240 is possible. But other than that, I'm really happy.